have Mr. Vinay Kumar Singh, who would be talking on healthcare and especially orthopedics right here with us. Thank you so much for joining us today, Doctor. Can we please give a big round of applause for Mr. Vinay Kumar Singh?
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vinay Singh, as everybody has told. I am an orthopedic surgeon. और यहाँ पे मेरे से पहले कुछ एमिनेंट स्पीकर आए थे एंड दे सेड वो दिल के डॉक्टर हैं, दिल से सोचते हैं. मैं ये नहीं बोल सकता कि मैं हड्डी का डॉक्टर हूँ, हड्डी से सोचता हूँ. मैं भी हड्डी का डॉक्टर हूँ लेकिन सोचता मैं भी दिल से हूँ. So I am an orthopedic surgeon, but I still think from my heart. My journey to medicine started in 1993 when I did my medicine from Allahabad, from Medical College, and then I did my post-graduation from Agra. Now, I became a doctor. I think it was just by chance, or maybe my parents forced me to become a doctor. I was a very cricket enthusiast, and I used to watch Sir playing, Mr. Sunil Gavaskar playing. But my father used to say at that point of time, opportunities in cricket were very far and few. There used to be one team which used to play test matches and one day, and there was a squad of 15 team, and he said, can you make it in that 15? And I was not sure. I said, become a doctor. So I became a doctor. If I was probably given the opportunity, I could be a good left-arm bowler and a left-arm batsman, but now, I do my surgeries with my left hand. That is destiny. Now, after doing post-graduation, I was wondering what to do. And there were certain speakers who talked about brain drain, and I was one of the typical examples of brain drain. I was thought, what should I do after MBBS? I was the first doctor of my whole family. I think I was first doctor of my whole large family. I didn't know any politician. I didn't know anybody who could introduce me to somebody great and I could learn some skills. Then I thought maybe it's time to leave India. I left India with a sad note, and I thought I will go to England, achieve whatever I want to achieve, and I think few years' time I'll be back. But that few years became 14 years, and in the 14 years, I learned a lot. Of course, my building blocks were laid in India, but the multi-story building, in terms of my clinical skills, in terms of my surgical skills, I would have to unfortunately credit to England. Not only I became a good doctor because I have got good surgical skills, but I learned about how to deal with patients. I had opportunity to work with some eminent orthopedic surgeons, naming a few, Mr. Andrew Cobb from Elective Orthopedic Center and Professor Richard Field. And they taught me, and I learned how to treat patients. And you don't treat patients by medicine. I think this is, of course you need medicines, of course you need to operate, but listening to the patient, empathizing, compassion, I think that is what all we need. And that is the thing most of us unfortunately miss in India. If you listen to the patient concerns, half of the patient's remedies, half of the patient ailments are gone. So in 14 years, I did learn a lot. I acquired few qualifications. I did my FRCS from Royal College. I did my MRCS from Royal College. I did my diploma in sports and exercise medicine from Royal College of England, which I am proud of. I did my fellowship from European Board. And after 14 years, when whatever I wanted to achieve in terms of skills, in terms of surgical capabilities, and whatever positive feedbacks I can see from England, I saw the NHS, how it works. It was absolutely free. You could be a millionaire, you could be somebody, living on the streets, but the treatment you will receive is same. It doesn't really matter who you are. You will get the same treatment. So I wanted to come back. My wife, she is sitting there, she's recording me. She's a British citizen. She is born and brought up in England. She's a radiologist. So I thought I was responsible for brain drain. I should do reverse brain drain. So I got her to India, and she's working as a radiologist in the same hospital where I'm working, and we're working together, head and shoulders, serving patients. When I returned to India, I had two options, whether to join a corporate hospital like Fortis or Medanta or name any And with my extensive research portfolio, extensive work experience, I don't think it would be impossible to get a job in any of those hospitals. But my vision was very clear that when I started medicine, you would be amazed that my hostel fees and tuition fees for my medical college was 600 rupees. That is what I paid. And I think that is why I was able to become a doctor. Because my father could not have afforded the fees in a private college, but 600 rupees was, and the reason I spent 600 rupees was because the government of India had invested a lot in me. And as one of the other speakers said, every brain drain loses 20 lakhs, and I think I was one of them. So I thought I owe something to the country and it's time to give back. So I was looking for opportunity where I am serving poor patients, rich people. Most of us have got good money. We can go to any good hospitals and we are guaranteed good treatment. But same can't be said for poor people where I work in Rajasthan, and it's one of the poorer states. So I work just outside Jaipur. I shared my dreams with the Chairman and Chancellor, Dr. B.S. Tomar, that I am here with my skills. I want to provide an affordable, cheap, but high-quality evidence-based treatment in orthopedics. And I'm happy to say in last 2.5 years, I have served more than 2,500 patients. Of course, you do have complications as a surgeon, but vast majority of them are doing well. And I feel great when I see smiles on them. And in turn, I don't get anything except for the blessings. And that is, I think, I was working for. Now, this is what I can do as an individual. You have some social responsibilities. Of course, money is important. I'm not saying don't work, don't earn, because without money, you can't do anything. But don't run after money. Because you keep running after money and you don't have got any quality, you don't balance your life. And most of the doctors, unfortunately, we, say, I have got this, I earn so much money. And I think we should be talking about, I have cured so many patients, and I talk to my patients, I see my patients this way, and patients are being, treated well. Government is taking its own steps. One of the speakers talked about Ayushman Bharat. I work in Rajasthan, and we also have a health scheme called Bhamasha Health Scheme, in which we treat patients for free. And all they need is the active Bhamasha card. They come to us, and we don't charge them any money, and we give them a free treatment. We can't expect everything from the government. We have to do something on our own. Government doesn't say, run after money. And as Dr. Purohit, who was the first speaker of the day, he said he had two options: to run after money like other colleagues and run to England or any other places, or serve people. And I think if we want, work, but dedicate some time for the people in need. And I'm thankful to my wife, she has supported me, of course, my parents, and my institution, who is working by my side, without which their help and without their financial incentive, I would not be able to serve the people in India. Thank you very much for listening.
Moving on to the next category, the Promising Orthopedic Surgeon Joint Replacement of the Year 2019 from Jaipur. And the winner is Dr. Vinay Kumar Singh. Can we please have you on stage? Professor Dr. Vinay Kumar Singh is well known for joint replacement, sports injury and trauma surgeries. He's one of the very few orthopedic surgeons in India who can perform computer-navigated and conventional joint replacement surgeries.
Subsequently, I was looking for opportunity to specialize in sports injuries and knee replacement, and I was looking for opportunities in India, and I was finding it difficult. So unfortunately, I decided to go to England and look for further opportunities to train. And when I went to England, I was thinking of staying there for a few years, but eventually somehow I stayed there for 14 years, but they were good 14 years. I learned a lot. I worked with some of eminent orthopedic surgeons such as Andrew Cobb, Professor Richard Field, and also worked in some world-renowned centers such as Elective Orthopedic Center in Epsom and Royal National Orthopedic Hospital in Stanmore. These 14 years, I think, were my career-changing years because I learned a lot. Not only I learned how to be a good surgeon, but also how to look after the patient. I learned about empathy, I learned about compassion, I learned about how to talk to the patient, how to see things from patient's perspective, which I think we miss a lot in India. And after 14 years, when I completed my FRCS Orthopedics, I did my MRCS, and I did various other fellowships from European Board, and then I thought, I think I owe to my country and I should come back. It was a difficult decision. However, my family supported me, and I would like to thank my wife, who is a British citizen, but she still decided to come back to India so that I can fulfill my dreams of serving my own people. And in last 2 years, I was looking for a job, and I was in a dilemma whether to go for a corporate hospital or to go for a place where I can serve people in need. I think I was very clear-headed that I need to serve poor people, so I had an opportunity at an university called LIMS University Jaipur, and I met the chairman, Professor B.S. Tomar, from the very beginning. I think Government of India is also taking good initiative. They have started some good health schemes, like in Rajasthan we have Bhamasha, and now Mr. Modi has started Ayushman Bharat, which is giving opportunity to poor people so that at least they can have some kind of treatment. And I am delighted that I am able to serve poor people, and I am able to serve people who otherwise have no options, and things are definitely getting better. I think one thing I would like government to improve is to create an environment in which clinicians can do some research, because when I was in India, I didn't even know about research, because research doesn't give you any money, and it's all about money these days. But same people, when they go abroad, if I give myself an example, I did plenty of research, and I have published more than 40 international papers in one of the most world-renowned journals, including Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, which is published from England. So we have got talent, it's just that we are not able to tap the talent. So if government can create a research environment and support clinicians and fund them, I'm sure people like me would like to stay here, and they would never like to go back or go abroad to gain that further expertise.